there must have been some exchange of, that networking ideas among all, some of them. So by connecting with other professionals in our field, delegates have an opportunity to share ideas and knowledge with others through this type of professional conference. I believe this International Finance Conference would have extended a great opportunity to all the participants, that is, academicians, professionals, university students, researchers, and scholars of finance and financial sciences who have come together to learn, talk, and share the recent findings and developments and thoughts in the sphere of broad spectrum of finance. As already Professor Gupta has pointed out, that this conference has covered almost all spectrum of finance. So with these few words, I would like to greet Professor Pankaj Gupta, his entire dedicated team, all the participants, delegates, students, researchers, non-teaching staff of CMS from the core of my heart for organizing this wonderful academic event so nicely in this pandemic time. Thank you so much, Professor Gupta. Thanks all.
Yes, I am already here. Welcome, Ashutosh, and welcome, Dr. R. Kumar.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you very much. It will be a privilege to be here in this valedictory session. Although speaking in the same conference twice, once in inaugural and another time in the valedictory, but I welcome Professor R. Kumar. I welcome Professor Ashutosh Mohan. As may have been mentioned by Professor P.K. Gupta Saab, that this 2-day international conference on finance, though it was titled as International Finance Conference, was an initiative that the center had taken almost 6 years ago, and every alternate year they have been holding this conference. And this is for the first time that this conference was held online, although challenging, but I think it also provided many people an opportunity to participate. So more than 500 contributors participated. There were so many papers and abstracts that the organizers had received, out of which they had selected 183 or so, or maybe Saif Saab is saying 193. There were many parallel sessions or many technical sessions. They used multiple platforms technology-wise for the inaugural, for the valedictory, and for technical sessions. And I think the credit goes primarily to Dr. Saif Siddiqui and Dr. Tawfiq Siddiqui, who took the initiative, or who have been taking this initiative, although the finance group also includes Gupta ji, and his guidance was also available to the main principal soldiers of organizing this conference. So my congratulations and greeting to you, Tawfiq Saab, and to Saif Siddiqui, and to you, Gupta ji. It was a very successful conference. They have been able to connect with people not only from within country, but also from abroad. In the inaugural session, also as session chairmen. And then I'm so grateful to see, as I said, Professor R. Kumar, Dean Faculty of Social Sciences, today in the valedictory program, and Dr. Ashutosh Mohan, who is one of us, although he is presently located about 1,000 kilometers away from us, but he is always in our heart. So congratulations to each one of you, and thanks to every participants. I think one task has ended, so presentations are over, but I think Saif Saab and Tawfiq have committed themselves to bring out some publications out of so many contributions. So I think they are already in touch with some journals which have agreed to bring out a special volume on some select papers. So I think you have a challenging time ahead, identifying some 10 to 15 papers for those journals. And then they are also contemplating a special volume to be published by some reputed publishers. And I think that process will have to begin. So the task is not over as yet. Rather, one major task is done, but I think the follow-up with the author and then the editing of the papers, then bringing it to some kind of a common format, I think that will take their time and energy. But be assured that we are always there to support you, to back you, and in whatever way they could be of your help, be of your assistance, we are always available. Thank you very much to all the session chairs, to all the faculty members, and all the participants, the faculty members, and also the young research scholars in the field. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Saif Saab. My apologies that I joined a little late. I was in another program of JTA. I finished and then I thought that I'll reach home in time before the program begins. But I'm sorry that I could join after the guest had joined. So my apologies for that. So thank you, and over to you, Saif Saab. Ji. I think very good decision that you took, Saif. Ashutosh was a great addition to the Center for Management Studies, and it was a great loss to the Center for Management Studies. And I think he would vouch that I had even argued with his father, who wanted him to come back to BHU, and he also wanted to be there with him because of his old age. But then I argued with him and I tried to convince him that do not bring him from Delhi to Banaras. But then, of course, I had to yield at that time. I'm happy that he is doing well, but then he is always with us and he is always one of us.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Respected director, sir, Professor P.K. Gupta, who invited me along with the organizers of the conference. I am always grateful to Professor Furqan Kamar, who connected with the JMI. Initial connection, the entire academic journey started from JMI CMS, and that is what unforgettable for me. I always remain connected with CMS JMI. Professor Ravindra, sir, for your blessings in the beginning of the seat. Professor Saif and Dr. Topi, and all the participants. It's really great to reconnect with kind of alma mater, even though I didn't have any degree from JMI, but my entire academic journey started with JMI altogether in terms of as a professional, as a teacher. So it's really nice to hear about the conference details in terms of number of papers and number of papers accepted as well as rejected. Because nowadays in conferences, the normal trend is rejections are less and acceptance are more, but more than 100 paper of rejection, it is showing the quality of conference altogether. And that is again a great achievement because this conference or this continuation, the third international finance conference, and from last 6 years, despite this pandemic effect, you are able to continue the same trend and going with this conference. It's great, and I really congratulate the CMS, organizers, leadership, everyone who is involved in this particular conference. My job, as per my understanding, a lot of papers must be there which actually touch the different elements of finance. As Professor P.K. Gupta sir already mentioned as an expert of marketing, so I simply try to find out some of the changes which I am witnessing as a consumer or as particular market related influences or market related factors for any particular financial institution. So I simply want to tell 2 or 3 identified factors as per my experience, and I hope these factors are going to be very vital elements for any particular financial institutes or financial professionals to cater about or to take care of. The one thing which is I am finding very prominent and obvious, the touch points are increasing. For any particular financial institution, the number of touch points are increasing, leading towards the omni-channel financial services. And that is a good point for organization to build a brand, but that is also a tough task for organization to identify, to find out the mechanism to handle each and every channel efficiently as well as effectively. Similarly, when we talk about building micro moments, now what actually micro moments are? Micro moments are nowadays very much responsible to creating a customer experience. And how any particular organization or the financial service provider can create a micro moment, how well they are going to hold that particular micro moment, that is again a redefining factor. And I think many organizations are working with these particular things. They are offering the different devices, say, chatbots, and all those particular pre-approved loans and everything which they are offering in terms of creating or leveraging that particular micro moment. Similarly, what I am finding, one major change is going on in terms of banking services, where payment anywhere and anytime is now converted into payment anyhow. No more it's anywhere, anytime scenario for banking sector to witness. Now consumers are asking for anyhow payment. And that is going to be one big revolution which will stem or which will open a door for open networks to fintech organization and which may empower banks to reimagine their entire payment network. A few days back, I was interacting with one delegate from Canada and USA, and those individuals basically telling or describing the Indian fintech revolution is much more better, much more greater and better in comparison to developed country altogether. They were surprised to find out the fintech companies in India are doing wonders and they are able to find more and more services which is even not possible in developed countries. So India is progressing in leaps and bounds in that particular area. Similarly, when we talk about the digital or when we talk about the financial services digitalization, it is somehow related with the skill set. Digitalization in financial domain is creating a skill disconnect. Now, how it is a skill disconnect? Suppose any particular professional or even our MBA student, they are saying they are good in terms of core finance. That is not required at all. You need to be good in your IT also. you need to be good in terms of analytical skills also. That is why the analytical or analytics, big data, all those particular computing skills, not computing, better to say analytical skills are inbuilt with every financial role. And that is what we need to understand, and we need to live with the scenario where demand is for decision ready data. Demand is for reporting on demand. So this is what we need to understand. And if we are able to understand all these particular factors, then I think the future of finance is going to be all about managing across the functions or building the combination of capabilities and establishing a strong data foundation, which is going to be an essential element for every particular financial function to perform in an optimal manner. And that is what going to distinguish any organization to win the race in future. So I'm not going into the detail of all those things. You have a lot of sessions, 19 parallel sessions covering more than 50 papers, touching possibly all these particular dimensions where you talked about the fintech, you talked about the core finance, you talked about all those particular risk elements involved in those particular issues. So thanks again for calling me. As mentioned in the schedule, a tentative schedule made by a SAF sir. It's only 5 to 7 minute deliberation, so I am not going to expend the time limit. And again, thanking Professor P.K. Gupta sir, Professor Furkan sir, and the organizers for inviting me and remembering me again and again on different occasions. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yes, there are a lot of participants also that they have joined. So I would like to know from the participants what are their experiences and which would help us to make in the future times conferences much better on a much better platform or in a better way. So anybody would like to share experience of the conference?
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Zanardhan Paul from Kathmandu, Nepal. I have been participating in the conferences organized by JMI from education faculty also with Professor Dr. Ohare Hussain sir. I participated in 4 conferences previously. Now with Saif sir also I participated 2 conferences, but I am been enjoying these conferences very nicely. So these conferences are organized in a very high standard. Knowledge is too much here. Sharing of knowledge is much more platform here than any other places. So I give many thanks to all of you, organizing committee and Saib sir who managed so much to invite and manage for me also. So I give many thanks for the organizing committee and other all participants here. Thank you, sir, for my side.
Okay. Sunanda Das wants to say something. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Prof. I mean, at the outset, I think it was a phenomenal program that JMI CMS had organized, and the kind of coordination. If at all there is one person whom I have been chewing his head up on the WhatsApp, it's been Siddiqui Saab. You know, I mean, I think I would have WhatsApped to him at least about 10 to 15 times on this and that, and phenomenally, very well coordinated. And I think it was a humongous and a mammoth task to put so many papers into 2 days. I know, I mean, the time is always a restriction. And one very beautiful thing that I found was the kind of encouragement that the respective session chairs were, making it a point to encourage others who are not able to pull up. And the other beautiful thing that I really liked of Siddiqui Saab was I actually attended three other parallel sessions apart from my own session where I was presenting. He used to enter into every session and see to it that everybody is comfortable, things are going on well. I think that's a phenomenal learning for me. So thank you. And I look forward to participating as our colleague from Nepal also said in the future, if there are any other programs that are in the offing. Thank you to all of you.
Sunanda wants
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. I want to say I am from Tata Institute of Social Science. It's really a good opportunity for all of us to participate here and present our research paper. Sir has given us an enormous, great opportunity for all of us, all kinds of people. So I have enjoyed a lot, and really, sir is very careful for all participants. So thank you so much. I have presented my paper regarding Islamic finance. So I have researched on it, and even I want to publish my paper also from with sir. So it's really a great opportunity for all of us. Really, thank you so much, sir, and all.
Okay, thank you, Sunanda. Ashok Upadhyay sir wants to say something.
Yeah, thank you everyone for the opportunity. I come from an industry and I'm bridging a gap between industry and academy. So that's my purpose and goal to be on this conference. And basically, I'm looking at the sustainability angle, and it's one of my practice in my industry also. So I'm handling this practice, and this session has given me various inputs into how sustainability is looked upon into various aspects, and it was nicely coordinated. And I have learned too many different viewpoints on finance and its other factors. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashok. Thank you. So,
I think next,
yes,
Respected the director sir, Professor Kumar sir, Professor Mohan sir, and of course Siddiqui sir and Tawfiq Siddiqui sir. I think the conference has been wonderfully organized to begin with. I must put that into everybody's attention, and also take this opportunity to thank the organizers to give me the opportunity to present not one but actually two papers spread out across 2 days. I must say that the sessions were wonderfully organized, and I also took the opportunity to listen to some of my co-presenters, and I must say that a lot of insights I could actually gain on different issues of finance in the current context. And I hope the effort that the organizers have taken to not just conduct the conference but also publish the conference papers in some form must be appreciated. And I look forward to associate with the Department of Center for Management Studies, Jamia Millia, for future academic endeavors in our university as well. So I look forward to learn from each of you, and also look forward to the guidance and support in future in conducting academic events in our university. Thank you so much.
Nayan Jyoti, what is your affiliation? Where are you based?
Sir, my affiliation is I am currently working as Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies in Bolland University. That's a state university in Assam. Kokrajhar district, if you have heard, I'm not very sure, but that's in Assam. And I come from a very remote place, so to say. But there's a state university, almost 10 years old, and we are, so to say, in the early stages of our academic journey. And I look forward to support and guidance from all of you who have such wealth of experience. Thank you, sir.
and I may request Dr. Saif Saab, you may convey to the participants that if they want to share knowledge or something regarding the research papers, then email can be shared subject to the approval of that person. Okay, so that this would help in further research and other things, no? Here, Here, with your permission, let me share one of my statistics with you. We organized that one conference on future of financial markets, the first one and the second one, and the conversion rate of the full paper submitted was about 20% in Scopus and Web of Science journals. Exactly 19.83% of the papers, no, those were full papers which were presented, were converted into publications in Scopus and Web of Science. So and I hope and pray that this time the conversion rate is likely to be much higher. So so with the permission of my senior professor Furqan Sahab and Tawfiq Sahab, can we close the conference, sir?
Oh, surely you are the.
Yes.
Of course, we would like to keep listening to friends. Just see if Professor Ravinder Kumar wants to say anything. He's present, but maybe he's busy. I think what Professor Gupta was suggesting was that if the participants agree, their email could be shared with each other if they consent, so that it could also form a kind of network for them to communicate with each other and collaborate on many areas or in many areas for future endeavor. So maybe an email could go to the group or something. Sorry, we are adding more responsibility to you, Saif Saab and Tawfiq Saab. Great.
We already have Excel file where detail of all the participants are there. So they would agree, we will share that.
So maybe one email to them that if to agree, we can put them in a group and something like this.
So so thank you everybody, and I hope and pray that we continue to organize conferences and make us achieve more and more and higher levels and fix benchmarks at higher levels. So with Professor Ravindra Kumar Sahab there is also here. Sir, you want to say something or
Professor Pankaj, I think that is enough.
Yeah, okay.
And Professor Furqan Kamar has already addressed the audience.
Yeah.
So I'm short of words, in fact.
Okay.
Professor
Okay.
Furqan has so nicely concluded.
So all the best and thanks to all of you.
audience, in fact.
Okay,
Yeah.
all the best and thanks to all of you, and I may declare the conference as closed. Thank you.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar. Namaskar, sir. Now we'll see physically next time, I think so.
Thank you, sir.
Hopefully, maybe 2 years.
It will be better if it is so. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.